Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode. In today's video, I'm going to take you through how I painted this sideboard with no sanding, but still got professional results. A couple of years ago, I found this listing on Facebook Marketplace and I desperately had to get it. We drove across state lines to where I purchased this sideboard, but sadly, it ended up sitting in my garage for at least a year. The garage is a whole other topic for a whole different video. But anyway, last year during Christmas, I made progress and bought it upstairs.
Ooh,
as you can
right.
see, it needs some TLC, and as you can imagine, I'm finally painting it. You are watching DIY by Niky Foster. Over the years, I've been testing the best way to paint furniture, and in this video, I'm going to walk you through step by step how I do it without sanding and still get quality results. Here's a quick look at the wood furniture piece. The top has like a tiny scrape. There are a few nicks on the front, but overall is in really good condition. The hardware is intact, but I'm figuring I can paint them so that I can keep all the original pieces. And I have not decided if I'm going to switch these out yet or just like kind of paint them to be brighter gold. I like them, so I like kind of keeping some of the pieces, the original pieces, but I haven't decided yet. But that's how they're looking so far. All right, let's clean this bad boy up. To get started cleaning, I'm going to be using this crud cutter. I usually choose between two different methods of cleaning. So if you've seen any of my other videos, you know I go from the DIY water vinegar mix and crud cutter. I tried TSP in the past to clean furniture and cabinets and it failed me. So I just stick to these two methods now. I've seen great results using both crud cutter and the DIY water vinegar mix. As you can see, crud cutter does clean off the hidden grime pretty good, so I keep it on hand now, but if you prefer the DIY cleaning method, that works really well too. I've referenced that DIY water vinegar mix in a couple of other videos, so I'll just leave the links to them in the description box below in case you're wondering how to make it. So, I was supposed to use this to fix that. The problem is I couldn't find any of my spades or like metal scrapers to actually apply it. So I'm just gonna wing this and start priming and hope for the best. We'll see what happens. I'm a true believer of if it's not broke, don't fix it. I painted this without sanding and I have not seen one scratch. So instead of reinventing the wheel, I'm using my tried and true method to paint this new sideboard. This is my first time using this version of the Zen primer. I actually liked it way better than the cover stain that I had used previously to paint this other sideboard. It's a little thinner, less smelly, and dries a little bit quicker as well. For the primer, I did about 2 coats until everything was fully covered in white, letting it dry for about 20 to 30 minutes in between coats. And because it dried so fast, I was able to prime it all in just one day within like 1 or 2 hours. To be honest, I contemplated doing this the easy way. And by easy, I mean keeping the doors on and keeping the drawers in. But instead, I wanted this to come out really good, so I decided to do it the right way. So I unscrewed the old hinges, took off the doors, and pulled out the drawers. This way, I was able to finish priming the furniture so that it can have its best chance at looking professional and clean. And here's a little pro tip that you guys may or may not know, but I like to take all of my screws and hardware and stuff and put it in a plastic bag so that I don't lose anything. Putting all the screws and hardware in the bag just makes it easier to find everything at the end when it's time to reassemble. I've had way too many times where I've lost just one screw and it slows down everything. So now I always do this simple but necessary tip. Once that was done, I completed the process to prime again. I'm talking about cleaning the doors front and back, as well as the cabinet drawers, and then I primed them one by one. I also wanted to note that I primed the front, back, and sides of each one. Even though I had originally planned to make this as easy as possible for myself, sometimes the extra careful step helps to make the DIY projects turn out that much better. On the cabinet doors, I'm painting the inside and the outside so that when it opens, it looks nice and seamless, and again, that clean, professional look. All right, so I kind of have to tell you, my patience is always tested when I'm priming and trying to let this stuff dry. I eagerly want to flip over the front of the cabinets and paint the other sides. I just did that and it kind of got indented a little bit, so I got to make sure I'm like staying patient. It dries fairly quickly, but I'm like rushing the process, and that's just like another tip for you guys. Don't rush the process. Just let it dry for like 30 minutes and then flip it over. It's just so much better and so much less stress. So it's not a big mistake, but it's just one of those things I'm like, I think I should remind people just in case, because I get eager too, and I'm like, I don't feel like waiting. I want to prime the other side so I can paint it. You know what I mean? So far so good though. Another note about the way I'm priming and the way I'll be painting as well is some of the smaller areas with a lot of line details, I'll be using a paintbrush to make sure it's covered in the tiny crevices or tiny spaces, and then I'll use a foam roller to smooth it out. This basically helps to get a really smooth finish from the priming stage all the way through the painting stage, and it doesn't leave any brush strokes. Okay, so I'm in Home Depot and everyone always asks me what color black I use, and this is it right here. Literally called black. Like that's it. From the bare line at Home Depot. So to paint my sideboard black, I'll be using this type of paint. I used this in the past and it works so well. It's pretty much my new favorite. It's very different from wall paint though. This is really used for cabinets, trims, and doors because of its durability. And I always use a satin finish for cabinets. Again, I'm a creature of habit. Once I use something and love it, I pretty much stick with it. I've painted quite a few cabinets and like furniture pieces. So each time I perfected my process, and when I paint it black especially, I'm using this. So with painting something black, there's a possibility of seeing scrapes really easily or cuts or, you know, it just things like that happen sometimes. So it's easy for it to happen, and I just don't like to see that. So now if I'm painting something like doors or cabinets or wall trim in a black color, I most likely will just use this. Alrighty, so I'm pretty proud of myself. I did the whole entire sideboard. There's a few little things missing here and there, like underneath there's like a leg that's still white, so I gotta paint that. And then like on the side, it needs like a second coat. But overall, it's looking pretty good. Now, I do want to do one more thing before the end of the night. So I want to paint the front of the cabinets because when I was priming it, I felt like I don't know, I guess because I have to do the front and the back, I felt like I was rushing it a little bit, and I don't want the front to get messed up at all. So my logic is if I do the front now, it'll dry and cure overnight, and then when I wake up in the morning, I can finish the backs. So I think that sounds like a solid plan, and I guess I'm gonna just do that real quick and then take it down. Today's day 2. I don't know why I'm saying it like this. It looks so weird. So today is day 2. So picking up where I left off last night, I did the first coat of the dresser. Sorry, not dresser. I did the first coat on the front of the cabinets. I painted the whole cabinet, and I love when I come back the next day and it's fully dry and everything looks nice and smooth. So this is turning out really good. So I'm just gonna do the other coat on the front part with the cabinets and let that dry, hit the gym, come back, and then hopefully I can like wrap up the painting part and then move on to the next part of, you know, transforming the sideboard. If you leave your paint overnight, but you still need it the next day, place it in a plastic bag and cover it up. The paint will still be wet and the brush won't dry out either. It's a great hack if you want to save time and materials. So I've definitely done this a bunch of times and it always works for me. So although the sideboard was dry, there were a few small areas that still need some touch up. So I just used a brush to get into the small areas, making sure to just go over it pretty gently so it doesn't leave major brush strokes. And then I just worked my way to finish the sides of the drawers. This part wasn't necessary, but because when they're pulled out, you'll see the sides, I wanted them painted too. I had missed the opportunity to do that when I painted something else in the past, and I wanted to just put a little bit more effort into this one to make sure it turned out stunning. I just got back from the gym and my legs are sore. Oh my God. All right, so picking up where we left off, I still have these to do. I should really get like that little thing that you can like balance your cabinet doors on so you can like paint all around the edges. Oh, almost dropped it. Well, since I don't have that, I will be doing this the old school way and just doing one side at a time. Luckily it dries pretty quickly, so I'm not really worried about that. It's just, you know me, I like rushing, so all right, let me just get started on this, and then I think I'm gonna be done. I'm so excited. I can't wait to see like what everything looks like when it's finally put all together. All right, let me keep going. So the wallpaper finally came from Amazon. Let's see how it's gonna look. Okay, so far so good. I like the texture so far, nice. Let's roll it out. Wallpaper rolled out. I love how it looks like sketch, like it has a sketch design. It looks really pretty. So this part might be self-explanatory, but I'm going to explain how I did it anyway. To line the drawers with wallpaper, I just measured the length and the width of the bottom of the drawer, and then I did the sides. I transferred those measurements to the back of the wallpaper, marking it, and then just cut everything out using scissors. This is the OCD part of myself. I like to clean the inside of the drawers with my shop vac for any extra tiny particles that may be like lingering in the corners. I don't have the tiny nozzle piece anymore, but the regular suction works just fine. And then I follow up using an all-purpose spray and paper towels just to make sure it's really clean. This is important so that the wallpaper can lay smooth and flat without any bubbles or any raised parts. When it's time to apply the wallpaper into the drawers, I'm putting in the bottom first, but after doing it, I realized putting the sides in first is just a little bit easier. I also recommend leaving a little bit of extra room when you cut, so if there's anything that is uneven, the overhang will end up covering up any of the exposed drawer. Applying the wallpaper can be tricky, but try to get as close to the edge as possible. Use a smoother and peel back the backing of the wallpaper as you smooth it out. I found like this technique works the best and I've gotten the best results with it. I was originally on the fence for this idea, but the last time I painted the other sideboard, I was a little upset with myself for messing up the inside and paint got in it. So this time when I planned it out, I made sure that I painted it properly and that I also was gonna line the inside with wallpaper. I said this before, but I love when there's an unexpected pop of color somewhere. So I wanted to get the same feeling with this. All right, I'm not gonna lie, I am not the best at measuring, but I am good at making templates. So you see this weird part right here in the sideboard drawer? These don't come out. So I needed to find a way to make a template so that I can just cut it out and make it easy for myself. I made a template for this part using scrap paper. This just made it easier for me to cut out and use it as a guide so that it can be more seamless when applying the wallpaper on the two sides that have the dividers. And again, since these did not come out, I cut the wallpaper into 3 even strips, but I left a little bit of overhang so that they would overlap underneath the dividers, but still look like one seamless piece of wallpaper when it was fully laid out in the inside of the drawer. And I did not stop there. I wanted this to be a full-on statement when the cabinets were open too, so I lined the inside of the cabinets as well. If you're going to do this, be prepared to order 2 rolls of wallpaper, This is not a hard process, but if you want your measurements to be precise, that's what takes up most of the time, especially when cutting certain corners and angles. I like to be precise when I do my stuff, so that's why I take my time when I do it. This piece has a lot of those corner angles too in the inside of the cabinet, but I just cut them out and it turned out really nice. Another tidbit is my cabinet actually had these like weird little like closure things. I'm not sure what they're called, but I ended up taking them off so that the wallpaper could be as smooth and seamless as possible on both of the sides. And then I just added them back on, kind of like using my finger to fill out where the holes used to be, and then just using the screws to like kind of pierce it and then put them back in. Real quick, I just wanted to tell you about my online shop. It's called thenikycollection.com, where I make and sell customized items. So if you're looking for anything like this little necklace like this, those earrings I had on earlier in the video, and any home decor items, so like coasters, cutting boards, things like that, you guys could check it out over there. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. To finish off this sideboard, I wanted to restore the hardware to its original glory. If you take a look at the brass hardware, you can see it's like really tarnished. And I basically wanted to restore it to like its original glory. And so today I am gonna be trying out Barkeeper's Friend. I actually got two different ones. I got the soft cleanser and I got I guess this is the original. I'm really not sure. The original cleanser. I wasn't sure which one I wanted to use. So anyway, let's keep going. So I lined a baking tray with like foil, and I'm basically just gonna like lay it out and pour it on there and see what happens. Here's like a little footnote. This is my first time using this, so I'm hoping it works. After arranging the hardware on the baking sheet, I decided to use the soft cleanser this time around. I poured a generous amount on and let the hardware sit with it on it for about 10 minutes. I don't know if it needed to sit that long, but I let it sit like that anyway. And then I followed up with an old toothbrush. It took minimal scrubbing before I started to see the difference in the color. This was really easy to use, but it did have an interesting smell, and I wanted to note that for you. And then when I started to think about it, I don't know why I didn't have on gloves from the beginning, so halfway through I put some on. I repeated the process just to make sure the hardware was clean and scrubbed. I wiped it with paper towels and set it aside, and then I just rinsed it all off with water. And then I let it sit on paper towels until they were completely dry. And you can see the difference between how the hardware looked before and how it looks now. I saved a good amount of money just by cleaning these using the Barkeeper's Best Friend for only $3 and some change. And I'm glad I was able to restore the original hardware and restore this piece of furniture. And like I mentioned before, that sandwich bag full of the screws, hardware, and other pieces came in handy. When it was time to put everything back together, it was so seamless and it just made everything work out really well. And here's a quick before of the thrifted piece of wood furniture. As you can see, it was really plain, had a few nicks here and there, but it really was in need of some TLC. And here's how it looks now after it's been painted without sanding. I hope this video inspired you in some kind of way, and if it did, let me know in the comments below if you would try this. Restoring the hardware literally had my jaw dropping at how significant it changed. I was so surprised at how much discoloration it had and how it was easily restored to the true brass that was under all that discoloration. And I absolutely love how the black paint looks, especially with the wallpaper, and of course that gold hardware to like give it that nice pop. If you made it this far into the video and would like a list of the products I used, sign up for the newsletter. The link is in the description box below, and I will email you a whole list of all the products that I use with links. If you're looking for anything customized or handmade goods, don't forget to check out my website at thenikycollection.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.